In the high-stakes chess game of global politics, some nations are kings and queens, while others are pawns. But then there are the players who refuse to be just a piece on the board, mastering the art of the pivot. Today, we are talking about Bangladesh, a nation walking a geopolitical tightrope, caught between the competing ambitions of the United States and China. For decades, Bangladesh has skillfully balanced its relationships, not just with the US and China, but also with its powerful neighbor, India. The country's mantra has been clear: Bangladesh first. This philosophy has allowed Dhaka to prioritize what matters most, its own economic development and trade, transforming itself from one of the world's poorest nations into a rising economic star. But now, the game is changing. A new interim government in Dhaka is shaking things up, and its diplomatic dance card seems to have one partner getting all the attention: China. This shift isn't happening in a vacuum. The current government faces questions about its own constitutional legitimacy. With elections delayed and opposition voices raising concerns, the international community, including the United States, has watched with a critical eye. This has created a perfect opening for Beijing. Feeling the pressure from the West, the interim government has made a decisive and assertive pivot towards China. High-level meetings, warm receptions, and a flurry of new agreements have marked this new chapter. For China, this is a massive strategic win. Bangladesh is a key piece in its Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, offering a crucial link to the Indian Ocean. We are seeing this partnership deepen in very tangible ways. There's been significant economic cooperation, with China becoming a major source of loans and investment for Bangladesh's ambitious infrastructure projects. We are talking about everything from power plants and bridges to industrial parks. This influx of capital is vital for a country striving to become an upper-middle-income nation. But it's not just about money and concrete. The military ties are also growing stronger. Bangladesh has been modernizing its armed forces, and China has become a key supplier. The recent acquisition of advanced J-10C fighter jets is a major indicator of this deepening defense relationship. For China, having a friendly, well-equipped partner in the Bay of Bengal is invaluable. It eyes strategic access to ports like Chittagong and the new deep-sea port at Matarbari, which could one day serve its naval ambitions in this critical waterway. This strategic tilt has understandably caused ripples across the region. It marks a significant departure from Bangladesh's traditionally India-centric foreign policy. While Dhaka insists it's still balancing its relationships, the optics suggest a recalibration, a move away from its old allies and towards a new, powerful friend. So, where does the United States fit into this new equation? The US remains a hugely important partner for Bangladesh. It's the single largest export market for Bangladesh's powerhouse ready-made garment industry. Billions of dollars in trade flow between the two nations every year. But diplomatic friction over issues of democracy and human rights has created a strain. The US has been vocal in its calls for free and fair elections, and this has not been well received by the current administration in Dhaka. This complex situation presents both risks and opportunities for Bangladesh. The ongoing US China trade war, for example, could theoretically benefit Bangladesh. As international companies look to diversify their supply chains away from China, a concept known as China Plus One, Bangladesh should be a prime candidate to pick up that business. However, capitalizing on this opportunity isn't so simple. The country is in a race against regional rivals like Vietnam, which have been faster to implement reforms and attract foreign investment. For Bangladesh to truly benefit, it needs to get its own house in order. That means tackling slow-moving bureaucratic reforms, improving the ease of doing business, and addressing the concerns of international investors who are wary of political instability and policy gaps. The core challenge for the interim government is one of legitimacy. Without a clear constitutional mandate, its ability to push through the deep, structural reforms needed to attract long-term investment is hampered. International partners and investors need predictability and the rule of law, things that become uncertain when a government's authority is questioned at home and abroad. This internal political situation is the real crux of the matter. The suppression of opposition parties and concerns over media freedom have drawn criticism from global powers, complicating diplomatic relationships. It's a classic catch-22. The government needs international partners for economic growth, but its domestic policies are creating friction with some of its most important traditional allies. So what's the path forward for Bangladesh? The country stands at a crossroads. One path leads deeper into China's orbit, with the promise of fast cash for infrastructure but also the risk of strategic dependency and mounting debt. We've seen how China's debt trap diplomacy has played out in other countries, and that's a serious concern. The other path involves a difficult but necessary process of internal reform and diplomatic re-engagement with all its partners, including the US and India. This means addressing the legitimate concerns about its political process and creating a more open and competitive environment for business. It means building domestic resilience rather than just trying to play external powers off against each other. The ideal strategy for Bangladesh is not to choose a side, but to strengthen its own position so it can negotiate with all sides from a place of strength. It's about maintaining strategic autonomy. The nation's foreign policy has long been a masterclass in pragmatism, seeking benefits from all corners without getting entangled in their conflicts. The question is, can it maintain this delicate balance in this new, more polarized era? The new government in Dhaka seems to believe it can have the best of all worlds, re-engaging China for financial and technical support while attempting to manage its relationships with the US and India. But balancing the interests of three major powers, each with its own agenda for the region, is an incredibly difficult act. China wants a strategic foothold. The US wants a democratic partner. India wants a stable and friendly neighbor that isn't too close to its main rival. Bangladesh's journey is a fascinating case study in modern geopolitics. It highlights the immense pressure smaller nations face in a world dominated by superpower rivalry. Its success or failure in navigating these turbulent waters will not only determine its own future, but will also offer lessons for many other countries trying to chart their own course. Can Dhaka continue its delicate dance, or will the tightening geopolitical tightrope force it to make a choice? The next few years will be critical. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel The Dhaka Diplomat for more deep dives into global affairs. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.